Sometimes it can seem like you have no idea what to do. But I believe the knowledge is already there. And the actual problem is you're not doing what you know you should be doing. And then, of course, the question becomes, why am I not doing what I know I should be doing? And we can answer this question from many different angles. And the one that I want to zoom in on in this video is how your mind is actually playing tricks on you when it comes to the relation to the task or the goal that creates this inaction and distraction and procrastination. And how you can get back in control to actually play tricks on your mind to get in motion faster, to take action, to resolve and dissolve this resistance that you experience. And once this is dissolved, action becomes almost automatic. And these are some quick shots that you can implement and mental gymnastics you can use to play tricks on your mind. And one of the first things I want to share with you around this is make and create baby steps, very small steps. And you want to add a very important element to this. So when I would ask you, for example, read this whole book, this might feel way too big. And when a task feels big, we start procrastinating. But if I would tell you, read these 10 pages, and if you finished these 10 pages, you are allowed to stop. But also, if you want to continue reading, you can continue reading. You are far more likely to take action on these 10 pages instead of reading the whole book. It's the same activity of reading, but our relationship is different. When something feels big, we procrastinate. And if something feels big, you want to turn it into something small. Because the goal is to get in motion. You want to get in motion faster, because the start is the most difficult thing. But once you started, it's very easy to keep doing that thing. It's easier to stay in motion than to get in motion. So that's why you want to get in motion as fast as possible. And you can play with this because the last element that I used in the example is crucial. You can write one page, and after one page, you can choose to continue writing or stop. Instead of cleaning your whole apartment, start with the kitchen. Only clean the kitchen. And if you clean the kitchen, you can stop if you want to or continue. You can select all the photos you want to be editing. And if you want, you can continue to edit them. But if you selected all the photos, you are allowed to stop as well. And that add-on in the end, you are allowed to stop after you've done that small thing, is crucial. Because that's the thing that will make the step feel small. Because if you don't add that element and you just make the step small, you know, like, oh shit, when I start with this, I need to be doing all of this as well. And it becomes big again. You want to give yourself permission to stop. And the funny thing is, I believe at least 80-90% of the time, you continue doing that thing because you're already in motion. And the 10% that you choose to stop, it's okay because you made that agreement with yourself. You started the thing. And once you've done it, you stop. And that's how you can play tricks on your mind to get in motion and get in action faster. And one of the second things that is slightly related to this one as well is make something easy and simple. So when something is big, you make it small. When something is difficult or complicated, you want to make it easy and simple. So let's say you're an amateur when it comes to editing videos and videography or filmmaking. Now you can think about the final edit of all that you've created with all the shots, all the transitions, all the sound design, the color grading, everything to perfection. If you look at the big picture and the big goal, it might feel too complicated, as in, I'm not able to do this. But when you start making it simple and easy, and you start with small little elements, it becomes also easier to take action. But there is a difference between making something small and making something easy. Because, and this is how I use it, this might sound a bit weird, but I want to make all the steps that I want to be taking towards that goal as easy as possible. If I only think about the big edit in the end, I can't do it. If I think about the finished product when I'm writing a script, I can't start because it's too complicated. Because I can't comprehend it, I can't grab it. But if I feel that everything inside of me is procrastinating, what I do is I start to make it so easy that there is no other possibility than to say yes. And it looks like I grab my laptop and I put it in this place. I grab a cup of tea and put it next to my laptop. I open my laptop. I open YouTube, put on this specific song, close all tabs, I open my Word document, I write this title, like I'm going to into that. You want almost a kid, a little kid, to understand all the steps you want to be taking. You want to make it that simple. Because if you, let's say you're going through a difficult workout and you just feel like when you look at the whole workout, I can do it, that's too difficult. But if you would ask yourself the question, can I do one more set? The answer will probably be yes. Can you do one more set? Can you do one more set? Can you do the next thing? Can you do one more exercise? When it's simple, when it's easy, you can do it. So when you feel something is too difficult, make it easy and simple. Because I think in the Productivity Project, that book from Chris Bailey, he also mentioned when something is complicated, you start to feel overwhelmed. And when you feel overwhelmed, the likelihood of taking action is close to zero. So you want to remove this overwhelm and you want to get familiar with the feelings that you're having. So you know what to do and what shifts to make. So that's the second thing. The third shot that you can take to play tricks on your mind is make the task and the goal fun. So the both ends of the spectrum on this one is when something is boring, you don't take action. The likelihood of taking action is, again, extremely low. So if something is boring, you want to make it fun. And this one is a bit more difficult than the other ones, because when something feels big, it's easy to make it small. When something is difficult, it's easy to make it easy. But when something is boring, how do you make something fun? So you want to ask yourself this question when you look at the task and the goal that you're procrastinating on. If I would make this fun, what would this look like? How would I enjoy and love this activity? And this you might need to stretch yourself, your imagination. You need to expand your awareness on this to explore different possibilities to answer this question. And just to give you a few ideas on how to answer this question, I hope the rain is not too loud actually on this video, but ways to make things fun is, for example, by gamification, when you make a game out of it. If I'm learning a language, I can just very boring learn word by word and all the words by heart. But when you've gone to maybe classes for language, or when you look at these textbooks, they make all kinds of games out of it. Like you have to go through a maze, or you need to watch a video and attach certain words to certain things or certain pictures. And this gamification makes learning way more fun. And the way that I also create games for myself is by creating competition. So sometimes I reduce the amount of time that I have for a certain task just to see if I can do it faster. And this is how I create little competitions for myself that gets me excited about sometimes a boring task. So one way to make it fun is gamification. Another one is to see and experience progress. So if you again look at the whole, if we take the video as an example, if we look at the whole video and creating that video, it seems like you're not making any progress. But if you dissect all the elements of this creation process and you write them all down and you check all the boxes once you're finished, you can see the progress that you're making. You can see the chapters that you're reading and you can tick off all the boxes of progress, because we love seeing progress. Progress makes us excited. And just simply creating elements or segments and ticking off the boxes is a way to see progress. And you can, of course, play with this in any kind of way that you want. And third thing, very quickly, to make things fun is to integrate the social element into the equation as well. So something that I used to do as well is I would work in the same room as someone else. Or online, I would agree with someone to work for an hour on a certain project. And maybe we're doing completely different projects, but we agree that this hour we're going to be online and we're going to be working together. And for some reason, I work harder. I do more. I almost want to prove myself towards the other person, or I want to almost tell them like how much I've done. Like this social element makes things fun, but also competitive in some kind of way. And the accountability element is very powerful here. And this is also what I experienced, for example, in the community that I'm running. This accountability element, when you're not just all by yourself as a lone wolf working on your dreams, when you have a community that you consistently tell your progress to, and the things that you're creating, who are watching every step that you're taking. Maybe you're working together on certain things within collaborations. Like, it increases your productivity and the likelihood of taking action by so much. So just very quickly, if you're interested to experience the power of a community for free, because you have the opportunity to experience and meet all the members for free, then fill out the application in the link below, in the description below, and we'll just hop on a call and connect and see if this group is a great fit for you. And these are elements, the gamification, the progress, the social element that you can use to make things fun, because we also learn so much more from play. There's a lot of research done on this, where when kids are playing, they learn so much more, and all the things that they're learning stick way better. So if you're able to introduce this element of play in all the activities that you're doing, like, action becomes so much more easier. So from boring to fun. Now, number 4 is to make things clear. So what is happening with clear is, of course, when things are uncertain or vague, the likelihood of taking action goes down. But when you have clarity and you know exactly what to do, then the likelihood of taking action goes up. So this is what you want to be keeping in mind. If you tell yourself, for example, I'm going to write a script for a YouTube video, like, it is kind of specific, but not specific enough for you to take action. And if I have a block scheduled, which is called writing block, like, what am I going to be writing? Like, I need to have something specific for me to take action on. So what is the video going to be about? How long is the video? What kind of principles are you going to be sharing in the video? All of these things you already want to be writing out, which increases the likelihood to take action. And the way I go about this is, I even schedule in my calendar time to create clarity on my projects and on my tasks. Sometimes it's just 50 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, doesn't matter. Like, I create time to brainstorm. I create time to create clarity on my plans, because I know that I reduce the amount of procrastination once I have clarity. So these are the things that you want to be keeping in mind when you know what to do, but you're not doing that thing. And that's why you want to create awareness on, what am I actually feeling? Does the task feel too big for me? Does the task feel too difficult or complicated to me? So when it feels too big, you make it small. When it feels too big or too difficult and complicated, you make it easy and simple. When it feels boring, how can you make it fun? When it feels unclear and vague, how can you create clarity? Because seeking clarity, Brandon Bouchard, he's my teacher, my mentor. I work with his programs, with the high performance programs, and he did an extensive research on high performers, what made them different. And this is one of the, if not the biggest research ever done in coaching. And one of the habits that he wrote a book about as well is seeking clarity. This is one of the fundamental habits that high performers consistently use to increase the level of success, but also increase the level of fulfillment. You want to be consistently seeking and creating clarity for yourself. Clarity creates more confidence. Clarity creates more action. Clarity creates more urgency. All of these things, clarity creates more motivation. All of these things come from clarity. So a last quick thing that is not related to these points, but also this one goes a bit deeper. Number 5 is you want to change the relationship with your feelings. And if you master this one, you become a master of life. You become a master of your experience of life. If you master your ability to shift your relationship with your feelings. So if I, for example, get tired and I had a long day at work, I get tired and I just do not want to go to the gym. And just the thought of staying at home and not going for my workout feels so good. And then I choose not to go to the workout because I was feeling tired. So we create stories and meanings based on the feelings that we're having. So when I'm tired from work, it's better for me not to work out. That's the relationship almost that I've created. Now, that relationship doesn't have to be true. It's just true because I believe it to be true. You can shift this. So the way I go about this when it comes to feeling tired, when it comes to going to the gym, when I feel tired, I start smiling. I get excited. Because the story I start telling myself is, is not just going to be a physical workout. It's going to be a mental workout. This is the moment where I will separate myself from everyone else. This is the moment where everyone will give up. This will help me develop myself to become the man that I want to be becoming. All these characteristics, this is what it's about. And all these stories, and I start to expand and expand and expand on the story. But right now, the trigger of it's not just a physical workout, it's going to be a mental workout right now. That's already enough for me. Once I connect with that, like I'm going to the gym, regardless of how I feel. And you can create your own story based on these feelings that you're having, that empower you to get emotion, that gets you excited to get emotion. And I also, and this is a whole different video probably, but I also very quickly attach the element of who do I want to be becoming? I have a vision of the kind of man that I want to become in this world, and what kind of qualities he embodies, what kind of values he lives into, what kind of characteristics he has. And one of them is that his feelings are not the guiding factor for what he's doing or not doing in life. I'm not letting my feelings dictate the way I'm living life. I choose this. I choose it myself. So this is an important characteristic of the man that I want to be becoming. And if you attach that to a future vision of yourself, your likelihood to take action increases by so much. But this is a pretty deep topic, just to mention a little bit about it. And I hope that these elements helped for you to create a clear picture and create some awareness of what am I actually feeling and how can I trick my brain and shift these feelings to get into action, to dissolve the resistance. So I'm curious what you think of it. I hope this helped in any kind of way, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.